Hello, everyone. I'm just going to give it a minute to let people jump on, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Hey, good afternoon. My name is Mary Myers. I am the Director of Business Development at the Lake Superior Community Partnership. I wanted to thank you for joining us today. I'll be going over two tools that we have in-house, MZ and InPlan. Data isn't always the most exciting thing, but both of these tools can help businesses with strategic planning efforts or to just see how an event or an addition to their business would impact the community. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to ask those in the question pane, and then I will get to them at the end. So I'm going to get started by going over MZ. This tool is great and can pull a lot of different types of data. I use it most with helping create our annual data booklet, which can be found on our website at marquette.org. And then I also just use it a lot to pull reports to help businesses. Businesses often come to us for help with pulling wage studies to help them when they're doing their strategic planning for businesses. It's also been something that's been really popular lately with the talent shortages, just to make sure that they're paying their employees appropriately. And I will go over some example reports in just a little bit as well. Businesses can also use reports from this tool to help with attraction efforts. If you are looking to open a second location, we can pull industry and workforce availability in another location around the UP or in Michigan. Workforce analytics, I'll go over that on the next slide. And then our regional dashboard is another report I pull often. This gives a snapshot of the community that is being pulled, and I will go ahead and pull up an example of some of those reports here. So as I mentioned, talent is huge, especially in the service industry. So I pulled an example of servers in Marquette County. This is what a PDF version looks like. It's going to give you a table of contents. It's going to tell you where the MZ data comes from and what it is. It'll give you the report parameters of what job we're pulling, where you want it to be pulled. The cool thing about this report and most of the reports in MZ is you can pull it for multiple counties. So if you wanted it in Marquette and then the surrounding counties, I can pull it for all of them. I can pull it for the entire UP, whatever you're looking for. So what this report will do is it'll give you a workforce map. And then it gets down into the nitty-gritty. So it'll give you the compensation, the demand for the current job postings that it's seeing, the supply of jobs. It'll give you the national average, where those jobs are being found, what industries they're in, place of work versus place of residence, so where they're commuting from, the retirement risk, demographics. I mean, there's so much information that comes in this, and it even breaks it down into hourly wage ranges or salary, depending on what you're looking for. It gives you the demand. Again, it can give you the skills. So if you're looking at filling, I'm going to do some examples with CNC machinists. It'll give you the hard skills. So if there's anything that can be transferred over to another position, say that you're looking for a CNC machinist and there's certain skill sets that are in another position, this can kind of show you how you can cross-train them. So this is a really great tool, and it's very popular, as I mentioned. It takes me about 3 minutes to pull it. So if you ever are interested in getting a wage study done, just shoot me an email and I'd be more than happy to pull that for you. I just need to know the job title and where you would want it pulled. The second example I'll show you is that economy overview. So we use this a lot with site selectors or just for people who are looking to locate in the area. It gives them a really good snapshot. It's going to give them the population information, your employment, median household income. This also can be exported into a PDF document. It'll give you a good written summary of what is in the report, labor force breakdown, educational attainment. When you're looking at it in this view, you can play around with the report and the graphs, which is fun. It'll give you population. You scroll down, it gives you the map, and it will also give you inbound and outbound migration. Industry characteristics. This I like because if you sit down and do this with me, we can get more into the nitty-gritty of what this data is. So for instance, you have construction. That's pretty general, but if we sit down and we break it down further together, we can see what is in construction. So the manufacturing jobs that are in construction, how many of those are, the growth that comes from those, the national averages. I mean, there's just so much data that can be pulled from this tool. It's just really good if you don't know exactly what you're looking for to sit down with me and we can play around with it. Workforce, your workforce characteristics, educational pipeline. I mean, there's just a lot of information. So if that's something that's of interest, let me know. I'm happy to pull that for you as well. All right, so going back to this, the second part of the tool is our workforce insights. And this portion of the tool can help businesses track talent, which is a struggle for every business these days. It pulls from over 100 million profiles so that you can pinpoint alumni who have left the area. You can see specific profiles that match your business criteria and find the skill sets your business is looking for. This gets down to very detailed reports, so it actually goes all the way down to resume level. And I will go ahead and pull that up for you. This tool we would want to sit down together, and I can do it via Zoom if that's something that you'd like, but we are meeting in person as well. But this one, we would want to do that together just because there's so much information that can come out of it. So there's two portions of the tool, profile analytics and talent attraction. I'm going to start with talent attraction. The talent attraction piece can help you locate where your talent is at. This can be helpful if you're looking to hold a career fair and you want to look to see where your graduates in the profession you're looking at are located. So for my example, I'm going to do CNC machinists in Marquette County. And it gives you a great heat map of Michigan. And then when you scroll down, it gives you this table. As you can see, it's going to show you where all the talent is in Michigan. The negative numbers in the graduate oversupply column, that means that whatever numbers here is the amount of graduates that they have for CNC machinists in this county. So Kalamazoo has a surplus of 8 graduates of CNC machinists. Genesee County, they are negative 21, so they need 21 more graduates. The earning gains is another really interesting column. What this does is it bases it off of the median hourly wage that they're making. So when it's a positive number, if you were to go to Genesee County and try to attract talent, even though that they're in a negative surplus, we're paying $9.29 an hour more here in Marquette County than they are in Genesee County for this position. When you see the negative number, which is in Monroe County, they're actually paying $1.31 more than what we are here as the median average. So this can be a really helpful tool when you're trying to attract talent, because it's going to tell you if there's a surplus in whichever county that you're looking to go to, but it's also going to tell you if we're paying more up here or if we're paying less. So, I mean, even though there's a negative number in Genesee County, it might be worth trying to attract talent because they're going to make almost $9 more here than they would in Genesee County. So this tool, I like to tell businesses if they're looking to do any type of career fair out of the area, to come and talk to me to see if it's worth going to the area. You know, when you're looking at Wayne County, for instance, they're negative 60. That's probably not really something that you wouldn't want to go there and do a career fair. $5 an hour more here, almost $6. Is it worth it for them to move? Maybe, maybe not. But these are some good statistical data to have. So now to go into the profile analytics. This is where you get really into the nitty gritty of things, and you're going to get into the resume level information. So I am going to use CNC Machinist again, and I'm going to just put that in and say we're attracting from the entire U.S. And what it's doing right now is it is telling me that out of all of the profiles that they have, there are 16,858 profiles that have a CNC machinist on their resume. This heat map tells you where a lot of them are, the major ones are located. Houston has 613 profiles, for instance. You can scroll down and it'll give you the profiles. It'll give you the state, the top states of where they're located, the top companies that these people are working for, occupations, the schools that they went to. So you might want to look at targeting certain schools, and the hard skills, soft skills, common skills, all of that's on here. What I'm going to do is I am going to type in one of our universities. So what this will do is it's going to pull alumni or resumes who have the schools on them from these profiles. So I'm going to put Northern Michigan University. And there are 11. So you can add multiple schools in here. We'll put Michigan Tech in. See if that jumps us up at all. So we went from 11 to 12. So this is helpful because these 12 individuals, first it's narrowing down your search drastically, but these 12 individuals have been to the UP. They know what it's like to live here. It's not something that you're going to have to explain to them and hope that after experiencing one winter that they're going to want to stay here. They know what it's like to live here. This is going to give you that same information. It's going to give you the top cities that they're in. It's going to give you, this is the resume level data that you can actually get into an Excel format. You can get their emails, phone numbers, the skills that they have, whatever information that they have on their resume you can find here. Let's see here, the top companies that they are working for, the schools that they went to again, hard skills. This can also be used to help cross-train. So if they're, say you want to start with that larger 16,000 profile, you can go in here and type in specific skills or qualifications that you want them to have, and that can help narrow down the search. This is not used I do want to warn people, this isn't used as a headhunting tool, so I wouldn't give you this list so you can send out a mass email to all 12 of these individuals. It would be to reach out to them individually and really search through the information that's being given to you to see if it's a candidate that you would want to approach. So this is a tool, like I said, that you have access to through the partnership. We should set up a meeting to sit down and play around with it, just because there's so many points that you can put in here that it can get a little overwhelming. If you just give me some and then I pull it, it's probably not going to be exactly what you're looking for. All right, so now for the second tool, InPlan. This tool is used to show the impacts of an event or even a business. I've used it recently with clients to show the impact of attraction projects to help with their grant applications, and then also to show the impacts of events like the UP200 or the Hiawatha Music Festival, so that they can show the value of the event to their donors. The tool does require input. So on this slide are some examples. Say you want to see the benefit of your business in the community. You can see that putting in the employee number is good, but if you gave the wages and the corporate profit, taxes on production, etc., it would give you a much better analysis. We can help with the events by providing you with example survey questions and to show you the basics of what type of data you would get from the report. Because so much work does go into the outcomes from this tool, our economic impact studies do cost between $350 to $750, depending on what it is that you're looking for. Here are two examples of what a report could look like. The first one is just a short little picture report. Or you can do the second one, which is actually, I believe that's like the 7th page of a report. So it can be 1 page or it can be 7 pages. It just depends on what it is that you're in need of. I'm going to go ahead and pull that tool up and we can play around in it. This is a tool where you won't see the side of everything. I'll just get the impacts from you. We'll have a conversation of what it is that you're looking to do. And then I'll plug the information in, but just so that you can see what it looks like. You start out in a regional section. So we could do this by state, county, or zip. It's whatever we want. In the state of Michigan, you'll select the area that you want, and you can do it on specific data points too. So if we wanted to do an event that maybe happened in 2006 and you want to know what that impact was to the community, we could do that. The most recent data points that they have are 2019. As most people know, data lags by a year. So that's the most recent data points that we have. They do have some 2020 COVID numbers in here, so that's something as well that we can look at. The second part is the impact section, and that's the point where that's what you would put into a report. So if you had event sales, so ticket prices, we would put those in there, for instance. If you had, if your business was in jeopardy of maybe closing, so we did one of these for when the mine idled. We put those impacts into the tool so that the community could prepare for how it would be impacted from the mine idling. That's something that we can do. I do have a sample in here. These, I can go to the impacts that I put in here. This is for an event. I just made up some random numbers. Revenue from it, from merchandise that was sold, lodging from the attendees. You know, this is how much we estimated that they would spend, food and beverage, groceries, retail shopping. These are just some of the items that you can put in there. You could also put in investments that you're putting into your company. That could be something that we pull a report on. And then what happens is it gives you all of this raw data, which I'm more than happy to give to you, but most people don't know how to interpret it. So that's where the report comes into play. Hopefully my internet will allow you to see all of that data that's in here. Here we go. So this is just a summary page. There's 4 other pages that get way more detailed and way more into the nitty-gritty, but some things that you can get out of it are you can see how it affects the labor and employment in the area. County, state, or federal taxes. How is the local area going to benefit from it? The 5 top employment industries that are impacted by an event. You can scroll down and then you can get estimated growth percentages that get down into the nitty-gritty of what kind of retail, for full service restaurants, landscaping, things that you might necessarily not think about that and that kind of stuff. So this is a really great tool. It can pull a lot of stuff. It just depends on what it is that you're looking for. So I would be happy to discuss this further with you. Just please reach out to me if you have any questions on that. Here is my contact information. You can reach me by email or by my phone number there. That is my office phone number. Email is probably the best way to get a hold of me right now, but any questions, please feel free to send those over to me. And I am going to go ahead and look at the questions. So if you have any, this is a good time to submit those in the question pane. Give me 1 second so I can see what we have here. So there are a couple. One of them is, how do I get access to the tool? So as I mentioned, set up an appointment with me. I'm happy to go over that with you. We can walk through in our office, through Zoom, whatever you're most comfortable with. And then the second question is, where does the information come from? So the profile information comes from over 100 million social profiles. So that's the Workforce Insight. But things such as the wage information, the stuff from Implan, that all comes from federal and state resources. So some of that information is released quarterly, some of it's released semi-annually or annually. So what they have are algorithms built into their tools to generate the information and make the projections based on what is data that's already been released. So I'm not seeing any more questions, but if you have any that come to mind after, please shoot those to me via email. On behalf of the LSCP, I want to thank you for attending the webinar today on MC and Implan. If you're interested in having anything pulled, here's my contact information, and I will let you have a half an hour back in your day. I appreciate you all attending.